What's up, guys? It's Shoulder Punchers Paintball. Today we are doing the best mid-level paintball, electronic paintball loaders on the market, guys. We've got a bunch of different brands here. We've got Empire, Speedster, Dye, Virtue, and HK Army here. There are a total of 6 different loaders that we are here to give you guys our overall comparison on. So if you guys like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys after the intro. Okay, guys, so here we are. Price point on any of these bad boys is going to be somewhere between $65 to $120. Check out our other video where we compared all the high-end electronic loaders on the market. But we wanted to kind of separate this into its own separate thing because there are a good amount of different options here when you're trying to spend that, you know, right around $100 on a loader, and some good options at that price point. So let's get straight into it. First and foremost, probably the oldest loader on the market is going to be the Empire Halo 2 system, based off of the old Empire Halo or Halo B loader. And basically this is going to come in at a price point of right around $60, $65. But you can get the Halo Pro shell, and if you do that, which makes the loader toolless, it is going to be right around, I believe, $110 for that. So the Halo 2 does offer very high rates of fire. It uses 4 AA batteries and offered in a few different colors. If you want the Halo Pro shell as the upgrade, I believe it's only offered in a black. 200 round ball capacity, and the big thing with the Halo is the fact that you can get that 20 balls per second if you want that. The downside and the con of the Empire Halo is the fact that it does require 6 screws to take apart. So if you don't want to spend the extra money on the Halo Pro shell, it is not toolless, and once you actually take it apart, there are a bunch of different moving elements to the Halo loader. So it's got pros and cons. Reliability is going to be pretty good with the Empire Halo. Definitely a good option if you're looking for your first electronic loader and you're not trying to spend a ton of money. The other thing that I like to mention is that you can get speed feed for it if you purchase universal speed feeds from HK Army. They go on the top here. Next up, guys, we've got the Proto Speedster loader, which is, we actually get it through Planet Eclipse. This is going to be a price point of right around $65 as well, and it is a beast of a loader. It's very, very solid. You are going to get a toolless disassembly with it. It's got the nice shell there, and you are going to, there's a tab on the inside, you're going to lift there, and I believe pull forward, and top shell comes off, similar to some of these other loaders that are more expensive. It does have a 50 cal conversion in case you want to use 50 cal, which is also a nice feature. There's not much going on the inside here. It's just a 4 paddle system there, and then you're going to push this forward and pull this out to access the tray. It is an eye system, I believe, with this. And the big thing with this is it is definitely easy to take apart. So that is definitely a big pro of the Speedster loader, and the fact that you can convert to 50 cal if you want. So that is definitely a nice feature. It does have that GRN style plastic, so the chances of it cracking are basically non-existent, which is also a nice feature. But you are not going to get high rates of fire with the Speedster. In our testing, we were only able to get right around 10 balls a second. So if you want something that you can get 10 balls a second with, and you're only worried about that, Speedster is definitely a good option. Or say, for example, if you've got, like, say a Planet Eclipse EMAC or a Tippin Stormer or something like that, and you just don't want to have to dry fire, this is also a good option, where you're going to be able to, if you have a pneumatic marker or a mechanical marker, this is going to at least do the job of not letting you dry fire when you're playing. So okay, guys, next up we've got the Dye LTR. Dye LTR is one of the most popular loaders probably of all time. Before it was the LTR, it was the original rotor, which was released in the early 2000s, but they have kept with this design for good reason, because it is definitely one of the most tried and true loaders on the market. So this is going to come in at a price point of right around $110 to $120. It is offered in a couple different colors: black, green, red, blue, and a die cam, and it's going to be a 200 round capacity. Taking apart the LTR is pretty simple. You can get speed feeds for it as well, but installing a speed feed on the LTR is a little bit more difficult than the high-end version of like the IR2 or others. Disassembly is pretty simple. You're just going to take that apart. You do need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws to undo and install your speed feed on it, which in my opinion is a con to the LTR. Opening it up, it does go by tension, and taking it apart is relatively simple and toolless. To access your double A's, to access your funnel and all that stuff, putting it back together is pretty simple. Everything clicks back into place. The LTR is definitely a reliable loader and can achieve high rates of fire, and the toollessness of the LTR is definitely one of the big pros, as well as the price point. Next up, we've probably got one of the most expensive ones on this list, which is the Virtue Spire IR2. This is going to retail for like 110 to 120. And the SE version that we've got here, I believe, is actually 130, but it does come already with the speed feed, so this box is falling apart on me. But the speed feed, you get the speed feed as well as a rain lid for the $130, which is nice. The Spire IR2 is probably, out of all these, probably the most popular, I would say. I don't know, it's between this, the LTR, and the Empire Halo. Overall rate of fire is going to be somewhere between 13 and 15 balls a second, so it's not going to be as fast as like the Halo or the LTR, but it is probably going to be a little bit faster than Speedster. It does have the speed feed mechanism that is similar to the Spire 5 and the Control 2. Very simple to just pop that off, pop it back in, and then the disassembly is just this lever similar to the Control 2. You do get a spring ramp also with the SE version for $130, as well as the different colors. But the base colors are going to be somewhere between 100 to 110. And then disassembly of it is going to be probably the easiest of any of these loaders. And it goes by an I system, and the I system has been proven to be very reliable. I've got a one of these as my backup in my own gear bag, and it does a very good job. Cody, you use the Spire IR2 full time, is that correct?
Yes.
You're still using it?
Yep.
Have you ever had any issues with it?
Yeah, after the third year, the motor finally stopped working, and they don't make the motor.
For the
IR2.
They don't make the motor? Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
I had to buy a whole new tray.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so there you guys have it. But I mean, it lasted you for 3 years, 100,
yeah.
$120
lasted
$20. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's
pretty good
impressive.
gig. Yeah. So, all right, guys. So that's the Spire IR2. Now we've got the HK Army Sonic. The Sonic is definitely kind of, in my opinion, one of the undiscovered loaders. It's got some really cool features to it, and it goes off of some interesting technology that's different than the rest of them. So first and foremost, the Sonic is definitely very lightweight. It does have a speed feed that already comes with it, so that is definitely something to mention here, is that the Sonic, you're already going to get the speed feed. Actually, I lied. This is the Sonic Pro, which I believe retails for $120. It comes with the speed feed. The basic Sonic, I think, is $100. It doesn't have the speed feed, and you can get different colors on the speed feed if you want for the Pro version of this. It does use 1 9-volt, which is interesting. So from a lightweight factor, it is very lightweight, and disassembly of it is very simple, similar to the Control 2. Just pops open in the front there. It does have a spring ramp already. Disassembly of the Sonic is a little bit more tricky, I would say, compared to some of these other loaders, but overall not very difficult. And once again, all the electronics for the Sonic are controlled right here, and the plastic is once again just plastic. And then as far as sensing technology, it uses this little flap right here, and that's what causes it to feed. And on the inside there, you can see your 9-volt battery. So overall, very simple design there, very lightweight. I will say, like, from a build quality perspective, it doesn't seem like it's the best. But with that said, I've seen people using the Sonic loader, and overall, from a reliability perspective, it seems to be pretty good. So the Sonic is definitely a good option, and batteries right there, it just clicks on. You don't have to hold it like the Bunker King's control loader, which drives me nuts because it's rubber and it's kind of hard to access. So overall, I like this. I think it's a good option for that $100 to $120 price point. Cons to it, I don't know. I would say overall just build quality. It seems to be built a little cheap when you're actually out playing. I haven't seen a lot of people have issues with the Sonic. Okay, and then last but not least, we've got the HK Army Speed Loader, and the Speed Loader is technology-wise similar to the Sonic loader. It's not very pretty. It is not the prettiest loader, and I think that's part of the reason why HK made the Sonic loader, was to offer people a more aesthetically pleasing option. But technology-wise, it's similar on the inside. It still uses a sensing flap on the inside there. It still, I believe, uses 9-volt batteries, I want to say. But it uses 2 9-volt batteries compared to 1 9-volt battery. So that's kind of interesting there. And it is, from a price point perspective, going to be cheaper. You're only going to be paying right around 80 bucks for the speed loader, if I remember correctly. The lid does not offer a speed feed, so, but it is round, and it is, I believe, the same diameter as the Halo 2, so you should be able to fit a universal speed feed on it if you want to do that for the speed loader. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is a breakdown of all these different loaders. Like I said, price point anywhere from $60 to $120. So the question is, if I've got $120 in my pocket, and am I going to spend $120 for, say, the Dye LTR or the Sonic Pro or the Virtue Spire IR2, or am I going to save some money and go play paintball with it? So the other thing I'd like to mention before we do a price comparison is to get the Pro Shell for the Empire Halo, you are at a price point of $110. So you're kind of in that premium price point for that. So if I had to pick one, and I'm just doing, say, speedball at 10 balls a second, I am going to pick the Virtue Spire IR2. It is the most tried and true loader out of all these options. But the con to the Spire IR2 is the overall speed rate. You're only going to get somewhere between 12 to 15 balls a second with the Spire IR2. So if you're a recreational player, another good option for you might be, say, the Sonic or the Dye LTR. I think the Halo 2 definitely has a good option for somebody that is, say, purchasing like a mini GS package or an Axe 2.0 package, and you're just trying to get into the electronic side of things. I don't know if it's worth spending the extra money to purchase the Halo 2 with the Pro Shell as compared to just purchasing, say, a Spire IR2 or a Dye LTR for that price point. And then the Speedster, I think, has its place as well, strictly because for 65 bucks, if you want something, say you have a mechanical marker and you just want something that's not going to skip balls for 60 bucks, you can do that, which is a nice option. What's your opinion? You've got an IR2.
Yeah, and I would probably shoot the IR2.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I only play speedball, so
yeah.
I don't need 20
If you're going to go out in the woods, theoretically, if you're going to go out in the woods and either play mech and try and rip it, or...
I'm going cheap as possible.
You're going cheap?
Actually, I might even go OG and go Halo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might go with the Halo 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to spend the extra money and get the Halo Pro Shell, or are you just going to rock it as is?
Rock it as is.
Rock it as is.
Yep.
Interesting.
$60.
Okay. All right. Well, there you guys have it. So if Cody's playing rec, he's probably going to pick the Halo 2. And if Cody is playing speedball, he's going to pick the IR2. I can't disagree with that. I definitely think the LTR definitely has a role to play here too. Super reliable and kind of does the trick of all, you know. The big thing for me, and the reason why I picked the IR2 over the LTR, is just strictly because it's easier to disassemble. But the LTR does offer that higher rate of fire and still the reliability. So if you want like all-in-one package, the LTR definitely is a good option. And I would like to try this more because I think that is kind of interesting. So there you guys have it. That is the best mid-level electronic loaders of 2025. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys stuck with us all the way through. If you guys have any comments, I'd love to see what you guys have to say in the comments about this comparison video, Punisher's Picks. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys with the next video.